Hello and welcome to Diary of a Common Man. My name is Salim Lalani. I hope you are well. And this episode, I would like to go down the memory lane and talk about a few things that embarrassed us as Ismaili Murids. But before we do that, I would like to start with a couple of things which are unrelated. Have a look at this presentation by this guy called Karim H. Karim. Association for the Study of Ginans has organized this program, which I think happened yesterday. So, if any one of you has attended that program, could you please come and tell us as to what the guy was talking about? I would assume that he was trying to justify that the Ginans are Islamic rather than Hindu. So if you can please share as to what the content was, because from what I understand, they wouldn't allow scrutiny. They wouldn't allow questions. Like I allow scrutiny on this channel. I invite people to correct me if I'm wrong. I allow freedom of speech on this channel. These scholars, I call them scholars because that's how they would like us to address them. Karim H. Karim, have a look at this picture. A scholar, no respect for freedom of speech, no respect for scrutiny. What does that tell us? That the content of his talk would be biased. Anyway, if you can please come and tell me, any one of you, I'll really, really, really appreciate. Another thing is that I've received a phone call this morning from Edmonton in Canada. The Nurani Majlis, one of the highest spiritual majlises. The Awal Sufro, how much? $500. This Awal Sufro, the man tells me, used to be in thousands. So he said to me that your estimate that the income has fallen by as much as 90% is correct based on the Awal Sufro, because Awal Sufro is the only amount that people get to know. Nobody knows the Dason, nobody knows any other revenue that AgaKhanis collect. So going by the Awal Sufro, it has dropped by 90%, and that is worrying Aga Khan, and it is worrying the leaders who are the beneficiaries of the Dason money or the religious revenue money. And it is no wonder that I am being approached. I am being, they are trying to pacify me somehow. Okay, they tried threatening, that didn't work. Now pacification. Now that hasn't worked either. We will see what happens next. These are the two things I would like to talk about before I start the episode. My journey as an Ismaili from birth to 19 to 55 years of age. In those days, I remember that we were embarrassed sometimes being an Ismaili, going to the school or the college. People used to ask us questions about Aga Khan, and we did not have any answers. And we were embarrassed. Embarrassed by his behavior, embarrassed by what we do in Jamaat Khanas. We grew up like that. When people used to come to our house to visit us, and when they saw the photo of Aga Khan, they would ask, who is this man? And we would be embarrassed to tell them that this is a spiritual person. He is a spiritual guide. We defended ourselves by saying, oh, no, no, he is a family member. Oh, a pretty good looking family member you've got. And there's no doubt about it. Aga Khan, in his days, was an extremely good looking person, but an equally sinister personality, an equally dark heart, a human being full of greed. Good looking, yes. But as they say, never judge the book by its cover. Yes, we were embarrassed all our lives. So, why did we choose to be embarrassed? We were literally the slaves of our Imam in those days. Apart from embarrassment, apart from the lies that we told people, we put up with the lies that the Jamati leaders told us on behalf of Aga Khan. And we put up with that too. For example, when Begum Salima divorced Aga Khan, when he was caught with his pants down and taken to the court, and the divorce, they settled outside the court on adultery basis. We were told in the Jamaat Khana that the reason why they divorce, first of all, there was no announcement. Announcement is only made about the Imam doing something good. Something bad happening to the Imam is never announced. For example, right now, Imam is in a lot of pain. He is suffering from old age and he is not well. That is not going to be announced. People will keep wondering. In the similar way, the divorce was not announced, but what the word was spread by the leadership within the Jamaat Khana is that the reason for the divorce was Imam was spending too much time for his murids and not for the Begum. A lie, a white lie. And we believed it. And we believed it. And we did not want to look at the evidence that was proposed by a few people. We ran away. So we were embarrassed. We were lied to. We put up with a lot of secrecy. We couldn't ask questions about the money. Or we couldn't ask questions about Aga Khan's identity. We couldn't. We were just we were just programmed to revere Aga Khan. We were programmed to give money without thinking. We were like a remote controlled car. They had the control and we paid the money. What is that? What kind of why would a human being behave like that? Why would he accept the lies? Why would he put up with secrecy? Why would he not why was he not able to speak his mind? Why was he discouraged to keep quiet and turn a blind eye? Why would he put up with embarrassment? Is this a normal human behavior? Is this the way we want to live? Apparently, I have come out of it, but almost a million people are still going through that. Although I should mention that there are many people. In fact, most people now have realized, but we'll talk about that in just a minute. Let's put it this way: there are many people who are still going through this, who are still living in the dark. What is this darkness? What is the darkness? It is unconsciousness. We are unconscious because in consciousness you would know what is going on around you. When you are sleeping at night, there is a cockroach around your bed. You wouldn't know unless the cockroach was to creep on you. Okay? You wouldn't know. The activity around you, you wouldn't know unless there was a lot of noise. You are fast asleep. In the same way, we are unconscious. Do we want to remain unconscious? We, we took birth in unconsciousness. Do we want to die unconscious? And in this unconsciousness, we are committing, I wouldn't use the word sins because I don't believe there is anything called a sin. There is a bad karma. We commit bad karma. We lie. We turn a blind eye to the wrong done to the poor. We turn a blind eye. For our faith, for our convenience, we turn a blind eye. So, obviously, that is the way we lived. That is my life as an Ismaili. Yes, I did enjoy the dandiya. I enjoyed the biryani, but I could have enjoyed dancing somewhere else. I could have enjoyed the biryani in my house or in a restaurant. I didn't have to compromise with my conscience, but I did in a state of unconsciousness. Now, then came the internet age. In the olden days before internet, we Ismailis, we Aga Khanis were the slaves of Aga Khan. After internet came, we became the slaves. The slavery still remains. Education age has come, information age has come, internet age has come, but the ignorance and the slavery in particular, slavery still remains. First, the slavery was about, we were slaves to Aga Khan, the Imam. Now we are slaves to our community. Because now, as I said earlier, now a lot of people, in fact, most people, have become aware. They are not unconscious anymore. They know what is going on around them. They know Aga Khan is a fraud. They know that the leaders are benefiting from their hard earned money. They know that. So they have stopped paying money. And we just saw the evidence of that a few minutes ago. And another obvious evidence is that Aga Khan is trying to approach me in whatever way he can. Okay, secretive way. He cannot come out in the open. System cannot come out in the open up and approach me, but they have done whatever they could do to approach me. Why would they approach me? Why am I so important? I'm only a common man. Because my campaign has made a big dent, not a dent, in fact, it has damaged the revenue system. Our sufro that used to go for thousands is going for hundreds. If your business took a hit like that, how would you feel? Particularly a multi-billion dollar business. How would you feel? And that's exactly the predicament of Aga Khan. He cannot do anything. He cannot do anything about me. He he cannot take me to court. He can take his murid to a court. He cannot take me to a court for defamation or whatever charge. Okay, he cannot, and that is the way it is. He is stuck between a rock and a hard place. What does he do? Nothing. He is now in a damage control mode because if he comes out and negotiates with me, okay, Ashok and Keshavji, we saw a couple of episodes ago, they came to pacify me. They did not come to negotiate. Because if they negotiate, then the system collapses straight away. Because, first of all, there is no negotiation. I'm asking that shirk be removed, and I'm asking the money should go to the poor. The system is based on shirk. The system is based on money going to Aga Khan, not to the poor. And that's what I'm asking, and I wouldn't compromise. What does he do? Does he allow, by negotiating, does he allow the system to fall apart right now? That is one choice. And the other choice is to just go in damage control mode and let the system bleed away. And that's exactly what is happening right now. The better choice is to let this system bleed away, let it disintegrate slowly, because the process is slow. So, in the meanwhile, they can reap whatever benefits they can. They can, as they say, make hay while the sun shines. That's what they're doing. But in the year 2023 and beyond, we will try and expedite the process of disintegration via legal method, and via the marketing and media method. That's what's going to happen. So, how much do we succeed? Like we did succeed in the first 2 years in bringing them down, bringing them to their senses, breaking their arrogance. That's what we achieved in the last 2 years. We broke their arrogance. And today we are going to break it even further. But I want to briefly recap. In the last 2 years, what has the Jamaat witnessed? Why is the Jamaat become aware? Why have they become aware? It is because of a few individuals. In fact, the silence of AgaKhani leadership and the disastrous manner in which they dealt with me. Whatever they did to deal with me, it backfired on them. Whatever they did, it backfired. And it has made a huge damage. They made the damage. For example, this man here. Have a look at this man. He looks like a very educated man, but you will not find a more ignorant man than this. And a more heartless man than this guy called Karim Sumar, the president of the Council for Australia and New Zealand. Would you even try to break the family of your enemy? Would you? This man did and failed. And I advertised it over the internet. This behavior has been noticed by the global Jamaat. Whether they notice the personality of Karim Sumar as to his who is Karim Sumar, that is not important. The message has gone out that Aga Khan's leader did this. And why wouldn't he? Why wouldn't Aga Khan's leader do this? Aga Khan has a broken family. In fact, all Aga Khans have had broken family. It is a tradition. So they've learnt it. So they try to break other people's family as well. They're saying nothing wrong. That's what this man did. And we will not call him Karim Sumar. We will call him the leader, the representative of Aga Khan. We will call him the conscience of Ismailism. That's what we will call him. Look at this man, Ashoknathwani, again from Sydney. PhD, shameful. He tried to betray me, and then he had the audacity to send me an email saying I did everything I did with a clean heart. He betrays people of their trust, which I put in him. And he has the audacity. Obviously, it is a mental sickness. I think he is mentally sick. Mentally sick. Not only suffering from Stockholm syndrome, where you love your own abuser, but when you have the audacity to say that I have betrayed somebody with a clean heart, this is scary stuff. And the best thing is that he does not even realize what he is talking about. And people have noticed it. This man gives lectures, Muhammad Keshavji, pretty high up in the hierarchy in the Aga Khani system. Lectures on Islam. He doesn't even know the difference between Dasont and Zakat. He told me during our Zoom meeting that Dasont is equal to Zakat. He told me. Shameful. Look at this man. This man is Alwais Kamaluddin. I wrote an email to him I said, you give voices on batiniyat, on spirituality. Give it to me. Give it to me. Give it to my audience. I wrote an email to him. It was ignored. And guess what? The Jamaat has taken note of it. These are the representatives of the Imam. And they all ran away. Look at this man here. This, I like to call him PhD Andani. He's very proud of the PhD. He gives lectures trying to marry Islam and Agakhanism. And I wrote him an email. I said, come on my channel and compare Agakhanism with Islam. Come. Come and talk to my audience. No. He will go and debate with Islamic people, Muslim people, because they don't know the inside story of Jamaat Khana. He can get away. PhD Andani, you can get away with Muslims, not with me. I will rip you apart. And you know it. And people have taken note, Andani. Uh, Keep saying Andani. PhD Andani. People have taken note. Your credibility is zero. Your Imam's credibility is zero. You guys have demonstrated on a global platform that your talk has no substance at all. You have no credibility. I have the credibility. Why? Why do I have credibility? Because I talk to the people. I do not hide myself. And I talk, I say what is my own experience. And I will stand behind that experience. I'll stand behind what I say. And that is why people believe me, not Aga Khan. And not these stooges. Let me show you one more. One more guy. Look at this man. His name is Dr. Ladani. Yes, another PhD. You will struggle to find a more ignorant man than this man. Have a look at him again. Dr. Fateh Ladani. I haven't spoken about my experience, my interaction with Dr. Ladani, but today I will. Back in 2014, just before leaving the AgaKhani system, I suffered from a bout of anxiety. Was it work related? Was it something else? I don't know. Maybe the thoughts that were going through my mind at that time about leaving Aga Khanism, was that creating, playing with my mind? I don't know, but I did suffer from anxiety. It was a short episode, but nevertheless, I did. And Dr. Ladani was in the Jamaat Khana, and I consulted him in the Jamaat Khana. I said, this is what is happening. And then we spoke on the phone, and he asked me, he diagnosed the problem. And he didn't tell me as to what the problem was. He said, this is very common. And he was right. It was very common. And he prescribed a drug for me, a very mild kind of a drug. And I took it for a few months and it went away. Now, then uh, in June of 2014, I left the system and I basically made an announcement that I have left the system Nobody's answering my questions, so I'm going. 6 months down the track, I think it was early 2015, Dr. Ladani invited me for lunch in the hope that he will basically answer my questions. And the lunch was pretty good, but what he had to say was mind boggling. And actually, I remember taking offense to some of the things he said during that lunch. And unfortunately, the lunch did not end as cordially as I would have liked, or he would have liked. And we parted. And then we continued our interaction on the email. And during one of those emails, when he was basically confronted, and this time I made sure that I was determined to advertise his ignorance. So I CC'd 5 or 6 of my Jamati members. I said, look at this. This is a doctor. In other words, a highly educated person, a PhD. And look at what he's saying. So during that email interaction, there was public involved. And during in one of the emails that he sent me, ladies and gentlemen, he wrote that I was suffering from delusional depression. Delusional depression. Those of you who don't know what delusion is, depression, we know that we feel very low and we feel like killing ourselves and we feel horrible. The people tell me that they wouldn't wish this illness on their worst enemy. That's what depression is. But what is delusional depression? In delusional depression, you actually believe or you see things that are not real. So let me give you an example. Okay. So I say to you that the moon is round in shape. And you say to me, no, it is square. I again say to you, mate, the moon is round in shape. And you say, no, it is square. So I say to you that look up on a clear night, on a full moon night, and you will see that the moon is round. And he said, no, I don't want to see. I know, moon is square. That is delusion. You believe something, but you don't want to see the evidence. That is delusion. And apparently, this man here is suffers from delusion himself. He runs away. He ran away from the evidence that I provided. I said to you, your imam is an adulterer. Forget about being God. He is an adulterer. And he said, I don't want to see. He is God. The person who is delusional is accusing me of being delusional. When I am speaking about evidence, I am speaking about looking up in the sky and confirming that the moon is round. He wouldn't. Now, why would he do that? Because he really believes. He is in a state of delusion, a very heavy delusion. This man is under a spell of extremely high level of delusion because he went to the extent of calling me delusional when I was providing the evidence. And the reason he wanted to prove to the whole world, to the audience on the email and the Jamaat via these people that I am delusional. And because I have left the Imam, I must be mad. That is the point he was trying to make. That Salim, you have gone mad. Because how can a person leave Imam? How can a person leave Aga Khan unless he's mad? He proved it. He wrote it on a public email and he got in deep, you know what? He got in deep shit. He did. Because I wrote to the medical council in Australia and I sent them that email that first of all, this diagnosis that I suffer from delusional depression, I challenge it. Number one. Because at that time, I was actually running a successful business. I had a happy life. Okay. If I was delusional, I would be in hospital by that time. Depression. It's a pretty heavy stuff. And I proved it to the medical council. They actually asked me so many questions about me and my condition and certificates from my doctors, my GPs, my specialist. And I sent everything to them. I said, this is who I am. And this man is accusing me of suffering from delusional. And even if I did suffer from delusional depression, there is a thing called patient and doctor privacy. And there are laws around it. There are legislations around it around the world, including Australia. A doctor cannot break that relationship. They cannot break the privacy of a patient, leave alone exaggerating it for your benefit. It took 1 year for the medical council to investigate. In the end, what happened? The doctor was disgraced. He was found guilty. He was fined $10,000, which didn't mean much to me in those days. I was making a good amount of money as a professional. But those $10,000 came my way. But more importantly, this case was advertised around Australia in the medical circles. How did I know? Because the next time I went to my GP into middle of 2000 or late 2015 or early 16, my GP said, Salim, you are a famous man. And I said, why? He said, did you complain about Dr. Ladani? I said, yes. Well, oh my God. I said, are you trying to say to me that, how did you know? He said, we've received an email. All the doctors around Australia has received the email about Dr. Ladani. So he got disgraced in the Jamaat. And now, due to this telecast, he's going to be disgraced further. And people are going to take notice of how delusional educated Ismailis are. The level of their, and the PhDs, for God's sake, For God's sake, PhDs. I've given you examples of three PhDs. Have a look at them again. PhD Andani, Ashoknathwani, Dr. Ladani, all happen to be Africans. All happen to be Africans. And Africans have this illness, not the delusional one that every Ismaili has, but they have this superiority illness. I wouldn't call it complex, I would call it illness. Their behavior, flying in the air, walking on the air, and my supporters who are Africans, a lot of my supporters, in fact, the people who have helped me most are Africans during these last 2 years. They still do. They are my advisors and they're educated, but in the right way. Not because they've got a piece of paper called a PhD, but they're educated from the University of Life. That is education, guys. A piece of paper from a university is not education. The only education you can receive is from the University of Life. My father never went to school, but he was more educated than these PhDs now because he knew how to live life. He knew the difference between the right and the wrong, and he wouldn't mind speaking. That is education. That's what happened with Dr. Ladani. Now, what else do we talk about today? Let's talk about the future. We have seen all this in the past. We have seen the disgraceful face of Aga Khan and his stooges. We have seen that. But the Ismaili Murid, although I thank you from the bottom of my heart, all those Ismaili Murids, from the bottom of my heart, I say thank you to you for literally, you have literally brought down Aga Khan because you stopped paying money. Congratulations to you. This is those people who are still in the system. You have stopped paying money and you're still going to Jamaat Khana. That's what I wanted you to do. I wanted you to go to Jamaat Khana and play Dandiyaras. And you have done exactly that. So thank you for listening to me and not Aga Khan. You did not listen to the leaders, you listened to me. And this is a miracle. You listened to me. You did not listen to Kamaluddin. You did not listen to Andani. Sorry, PhD Andani. You listened to me because I represent the truth. But do you? Yes, you have stopped paying the money, which has made a massive difference to the system. In fact, they are now worried. And I know that. But let's come back to you. I now want you to do one more thing. You heard me, now do this for me. Help me expose the leaders. Like we have seen a couple of leaders now, and we've put a face to the name so that everybody, every Jamaati leader, every Jamaati Murid around the world should see these people, the hypocrites. Everybody should see them, and their wrongdoing should come out in the open. Help me. Remain anonymous. If you want to come out in the open? Nothing like that. But if you are worried about your identity, about your safety, about whatever, okay, remain anonymous. But help me expose the wrongdoing of the leaders in your Jamaat Khana. I will create a register of name and shame register. Name and shame register. One, two, three, four, five, six. Six people are already on that register. Let's make it 60. Let's make it 60. The target during 2023 is 60. We have another 54 to go. I'll leave that with you. Just one thing before I go, and that is get out of unconsciousness. If I'm now talking to people who are still murids, I'm not talking about people who have stopped paying money. There are people who are still paying money, and there are murids who are still unconscious. I say to you, wake up, wake up. This is an information age. This is the age of truth. This is the age of truth. Wake up. If you need help, watch my videos. Don't run away from them. Confront the reality, because the more you hide, the more you hiding from Allah. Because you have killed your conscience. And conscience is a sign of Allah. Conscience is a sign of Allah. It is a navigation system built in each and every individual, which allows us to recognize, discriminate between the right and the wrong. And you have killed that. Or maybe not killed that, but you are ignoring that gift of yours for your blindness. Your blindness is winning. The reality is not winning in your mind. Think for a minute. If your Imam is true, why wouldn't he do something about me? Tell me. I am the one who is doing something about him, not him. Think for a minute. Think for a minute. That's all I have to say to you. I rest my case here. And now I'll take any questions that you may have. Okay, so Zahid, please put the questions on. Okay, Inayat Ali, I will be, I will not take your question. You will have to join me live, because I said to you last time around that you will either learn or teach. Put a comment right now. Which one do you prefer? Do you want to teach or do you want to learn? We will come back to you. Yeah. Next question. Do you really think you are making a huge impact? I think you are giving yourself a lot of credit. Okay. Again, the same. Maybe I'm under a, you are right. You are right. Maybe I'm under a false impression. Please come and join me and teach us. Teach us. Nima Piru. Teach us. Next. Does Imam really need the own money to finance? Teach us. Teach us. Okay. It's teach us. All right. Next. Kushali Memani went for $200 approximately in all Jama. I don't see the collections going down. What is your opinion on this? I don't have an opinion. I don't have an opinion. I just go by facts. The fact of the matter is that in the Jamaat Khana, where the Mehman, the not the Mehmani, the Awal Sufro was going for thousands upon thousands, now it is going in hundreds. That is a fact. Yeah. Okay. Next, these coward Muris need to be exposed first. Yeah, we will. What we will do is they are basically sitting behind a curtain and throwing stones like Nima Piru, Inayat Ali. Yeah, we want them to come and teach us because they are very knowledgeable people. They know so much that I don't know. So now I'm challenging them. I'm saying to them, come and teach us, and we will listen to you, and you will listen to us, and we will learn from each other. How good is that? Okay, admitting their sins is the first step to recovery. Even the Murids profit off the corrupt AgaKhani system. Yeah, particularly the leaders enjoy the financial benefits of the poor people. Yeah, true. Next, so many keyboard warriors, but nobody has the courage to go live and debate Salim. True, they cannot have that courage because I am like a light. When a light is there, and you can be a light too, anybody can be a light. I'm not special. Okay, you speak a truth, you become light. These people are darkness. When the light is there, the darkness doesn't come. Darkness cannot come. Darkness cannot survive. And that is why they don't come in front of me. That is why Aga Khan doesn't come in front of me. That is why the leaders and the Muris don't come in front of me. Yeah. Okay, next. My message to Aga Khan is you still have time before you die. Open your eyes. You will go in front of Allah for your deeds and not for the sharabi pig. Mr. Invisible, I will ask you to refrain from using these kind of words on my channel. I know the message, I respect your message, and I think your message is correct. Aga Khan does engage in these things, but see if you can not use this kind of words. Yeah, I'll appreciate that. We will not even use these words for our enemies. Yeah. Okay. Next. Is that it? All right. So, guys, thank you so very much for attending and participating. Zahid, did Inayat Ali make a choice about whether he'd like to teach us or not? Did he? No, he didn't. No, he didn't. So okay. So next time, Zahid, please don't allow Inayat Ali to participate uh, in our program. Yeah. All right. Nima Piru, you still have an opportunity. You can come and you can teach us or you can learn from us. But Inayat Ali has refused. We have given him the opportunity, he refused. So that's all we have for this week. Next week is going to be interesting because next week we are going to talk about the year in review and the changing format and the strategy of my campaign next week. In what direction are we going? And more importantly, I'll be talking about your participation in the campaign. Until then, good night, good evening, good morning, good afternoon, wherever you are. Take care of yourself. I'll see you next Saturday. Bye bye.